So Leo, have you read Hunter x Hunter?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So yeah, last chapter we ended off with Nobunaga and Giorno. I keep forgetting his name, but High Ring. I think that's how you pronounce it or whatever.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
next surprise. Yeah.
yeah. But Giorno and Nobunaga. They got into the hideout, and they're like, "What's the game plan?" They shows action. They're they're men of action. So that's what they're going to do now. So yeah, let's just since we both read, let's just jump right into it and discuss this Hunter x Hunter chapter. So it says right here, bloodbath in the empty washroom, and yeah, everything seems fine so far. They haven't encountered anyone yet. They say it looks like no one's around. Same as in the hidden room from earlier. No comment this week from the like the mangaka comic. Not sure why. Maybe they didn't
Nor
translate
from
it.
his team either.
Yeah. So, Nobunaga he has he thinks of something. Now I'm regretting not rereading the chapter before starting the video because I honestly got to remember what he talks about here. But let's see. He says if they were expecting pursuers to break through the walls, I sure figured the guys in the adjacent room could be highly too. Okay, now I remember. He says that the people that they were experimenting with, for the trap and all that. He's saying that he should have suspected them to be highly, and maybe if they were highly, that's why there's no one here because those guys told the other highly members, hey, the troop, they're out there, and also the other mafia family, they're onto us. So if I'm correct, that's what they discussed here. If I'm correct, yeah, there's a moment here where Giorno Hyreg he agrees with Nobu, and Nobu is like, "Are you trying to reassure me?" Like I don't know, like you see, I think Nobu is just not used to having someone on the same wavelength as him because you saw last chapter him and Sphinx, they were bickering, they were bickering with each other, for the smallest of reasons. It's funny, but I think Nobu he's just not used to this. Not thinking about it. I think him and Uvo, they were close. So Uvo was probably the only person who like probably didn't bicker with him. You know what I mean? Not like Finks. Probably agreeing with him with stuff like that, and they were on the same wavelength. So yeah, I think Nobu is just not used to having someone else like him around. So yeah, and later on we see in the chapter they really do think alike. Both of them they do similar things in the upcoming pages in the chapter. So yeah, Giorno he opens the door, and this was really smart of them that they didn't they didn't immediately enter the room. First they hear what they're talking about, which is like a, what do you think they're talking about? These random characters, because I don't know why. To me, it felt like they were ready to play D&D. I don't know why. Like they were ready to, I don't know, do something like, because the conversation is so random. We're like middle in the conversation, so I don't know what they're talking about specifically. But they have like one dude's reading manga. I think another guy's like writing something down in the book, and then she has like a paper, and I don't know what they're talking about. It's like a random conversation.
I was just imagining them like some of them just are playing poker, goldfish, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're just randomly doing shit like while they're like going about their daily routines, like no murder, whatever. Like just doing like average Joe type of shit.
Yeah.
While they wait for other victims.
Like why she's like, okay, this is what she's saying. She says, isn't it better for each of them to be different? And then the other guy's like, nah, a sense of unity is most important. And then the big guy, he says, Sure, but doesn't that make it a bit monotonous? You can say it's just a matter of taste, but it's like I feel you. I like when they all come together in the end. They're like, that's sick, right? I'm like, okay, what they're talking about, and then what she says next? He says something like, "I'm most," or another guy. He says, "I'm most invested in the early days before they figure out their vibe. That's why I don't want others stepping in and deciding for them. You know, like, okay, like, are they talking about a story? Like, to me, it feels like they're talking about like fiction. You know what I mean?
It feels like they're talking about like mangakas, like how they start a story
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
how they write the plot is determined by the popularity, the fans, whatever.
yeah, yeah. Like, and then yeah, like I don't know. Those were the vibes that gave me. Like they're talking about something fictional or like a group setting or something, or maybe they're talking about, the formation of a group. Like, oh, it's cool. Yeah, I'm invested in the group's early days or whatever. Like I don't know why. When I first read this, I felt like they were talking about the Phantom Troop specifically. Like, oh, like this guy, like, oh yeah, I'm invested in their early days. You know how before they figure out their vibe. Or I don't know. I honestly, I don't know what Togashi's trying to do with this conversation, but
I
yeah,
honestly thought it was about the cult itself, because of the last girl, the girl's last bubble here. Unity prevents individual members, messing with the group's cohesion. So like,
yeah,
yeah, like their work ethic, whatever, like how they do their shit,
uh huh,
because how we saw like 1 or 2 chapters ago with the head honcho, the chick with the scar. I forgot
Morena,
her name.
Morena,
Morena, yeah.
yeah,
Because they were they were employing teamwork and they
yeah,
were cooperating, whatever.
yeah,
Like everything before that, before that bubble, like he just goes out the window. Like
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Like I get what you mean because I thought about the same thing when I got to that bubble. I'm like, are they talking about their group? Like, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just a random conversation, that they were having, and it's kind of funny. I don't know. I found it funny that Togashi, he dropped us in this random conversation. They could have been talking about anything, but Togashi, he decided to talk about whatever this topic is, and they don't they don't care that Nobu and High Rank is like right there, and High Rank, he yells, "Hey!" He actually says, "Hey, you there?" And they ignore him, and then he yells, "Hey, I'm going to assume that this is the highly base and you're the members." And then this guy, yeah, that was so creepy. He was barging in like a lunatic. That's why it's best to have backup members to switch between. Yeah, I don't know. I think they were talking about their organization. I don't know, maybe.
like for a brief moment, I thought
Uh-huh.
that one of the nin powers made them invisible. Like the dudes at the table couldn't see Heinrich and fucking Nobunaga because
Yeah,
of the nonchalant reaction.
yeah. Honestly, I got when I first read this, I got a little bit worried. I'm like, man, they're so calm. So their then abilities either are like crazy or very specific for whatever situation they're in right now, and that's why they're so calm. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and we find out in the chapter they have pretty good abilities, for the situation that they're in. So and for what they do. So yeah. So that's where they're so calm, and then we don't even see all their abilities. We only see two, and another guy. Well, again, ahead of myself here, but we're getting there to that moment. So Heinrich, he since they shows action, they're going, they gonna do action. So Heinrich, he throws his knife right to the big guy, and man, I love the art in this chapter was really good. Like
Oh yeah.
there were some moments. This is one of them. There's some moments I'm like, oh, Togashi and his
Yeah.
his helpers, the crew. You're like, man, you're in your bag in this week.
Oh
So this moment,
yeah.
yeah. And so when I got to this, I'm like, he's like that hurt. I'm like, oh, okay, he's trouble. He's gonna be trouble. And I love this. I love this. I love his ability. It was really nice. So yeah, it's really cool that if you go back, he was touching the can throughout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you could see the blade in the can as well.
yeah, you can see it. And right here, he was holding it. So throughout the whole conversation, he was always holding the can. And so I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And yeah, right here you see the blade, also here, and then you see it throughout. So I love that. I love those little details. This right here, also really good panel.
Oh yeah.
Him crushing the knife. And he noticed that the blade's gone, and he noticed that the blade is actually in the can. And Noble, he concludes that first of all, it's a bad matchup for him, since he uses a weapon. Also for Hyrix, he also uses a knife and all that. He says he probably a counter type, though that doesn't narrow it down much. But he has an idea. He has a rough idea of what he could do. And then I love this because when I first read it, I'm like, oh, why he. You're like, oh, he dodged, whatever. Like I didn't, pay too much thought to it, but then noticing again, like, oh yeah, he was, or they were touching. That's why he dodged. So, I'm like, oh, he does brings it up later in the chapter, but when you read it for the first time, you don't pay attention to these things. It's really cool. It's really cool. So yeah, he throws a knife, he dodged. And this guy right here, he was gonna do his ability. He's like, if this got stuck in my hand, I wonder how much it will take to recover. So maybe his ability is like a healing ability. He just wanted to test it out. But then the other guy, he was reading manga, probably the universe version of Jump, or Shonen Jump. He just reflexes, stops the knife, and he probably he definitely used Nen. To enhance the manga for that way it will not go through. But yeah. So yeah, this guy tells the other guy, don't touch me like that. It will be dangerous. And then over here in the corner, the other two, they're having a conversation. Is like, he's like, oh, thanks, don't thanks, man. Let's get out of here. Are you trying to use your ability? So, this guy, he's like, he doesn't want the other guy to use his ability, so I do wonder why. Why does he want this guy to test out his abilities? So yeah. Right now, I think it's a healing ability, but the way that this guy's talking about it, he's like, oh, don't. Like, are you trying to use your ability? I don't know. Maybe it's more to it than just healing, but I wonder. And then they're not worried, they're like, they're not worried about the situation that they're in. Like the other members are still, they're still like, yeah, they're I guess they're aware now, but And then this guy right here, he shows up, the lawyer. So he introduces himself, and he's like lawyer talk, it's like, he's going to get the police, right? I think that's what he says. He's going to get the army or the cops to get them. And then Hyrick, he lies that they're lost. Tell me where you are. And then the guy, of course, he doesn't says their location. And also he recognized Nobunaga from the spider. He's saying, you're quiet cash, if you don't mind me saying. Checking if there's anything. No, he's just lawyer talk. Him, that he's trespassing, attempted murder, just stuff like that. And then this whole page is really, I love how it flows. He throws the knife, he gets hit.
Yeah.
And then the Nobu he's like holding it with the string. So yeah, it's really cool. And then you see how more of this guy abilities, and he's like, I see, so you can move other people's damage too. And he's like, get back, but he got the Nobu knows that he's bleeding. The guy's bleeding. He's like, you take it. He's like, you take it in with the right hand, and transfer it with the left. And when you can, you just tank the damage yourself. I didn't peg you for the selfless type. And this, yeah, this is gonna be the thumbnail. I haven't colored it yet, but this is obviously gonna be the thumbnail. This right here, I bet it's really good. So his ability is called Sweet Home Damage. He's a mission type. That's his unknown type. It says here, can transfer damage and the means of attack. Damage dealt to whatever the right hand is touching is transferred to the user. Damage to the user can be redirected to whatever the left hand is touching. There must be contact at the moment of the attack. That's why it's really cool. If you go back, throughout the whole conversation, he was holding the can. So yeah. Let's see. He's like, you can sit down now. I figured you out. All right, who's up next? Mr. Lawyer, why didn't you have another go? I'll screw you all like a kebab. Which that in the last couple of videos, we talked about it. That yeah, Nobu and the troops, they should be strong enough to mop the floor with the with the group. But since now we know, but now we know, they have very specific abilities, so it's not gonna be as easy as we thought. But still, like just get the other members, and still it's gonna be, it's still gonna be easy. So, and now now that Noble knows 2 abilities, he could tell the troops, and they could come up with something. Him, Finks, Phaeton. And if Uranus still wants to help, so he could help out too. So yeah. Then they discuss, and let's see. Lawyer guy, he apologizes because he's like, oh, your ability got discovered because of me. Also there's a funny moment before that. Then talk about samurais, I'm surprised that he threw his sword, because samurais don't do that, whatever. But yeah, that was like a funny moment. And then the big guy, he's like, you're supposed to be the guard, right, to the lawyer. And also he mentions like, do you get distracted way too easy? You're not going anywhere, you're getting rid of them. Isn't that why you told them your name? So interesting. That's how, and then we get the explanation of his ability. Mohis attack, and then it says a novel by Kenshi Sakemi. Mohim's was an Asian philosophy that prioritized altruism and harm reduction. So Leo, dumb that down for me. What does that mean? Dumb it down for me.
Wait, what? The Mohish or the ability?
The whole philosophy thing.
Well,
yeah.
Well, judging from that sentence, it's just altruism, harm reduction, easy. Like, don't hurt people, I guess.
Yeah.
And altruism is being like, being and helping others, I guess. Like donating, helping others. What a good person supposed to be.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what altruism meant. I didn't Google it, so. Okay. Okay, so that's what it meant. Okay.
Well, I think that's like I don't know what they did, but that's what being an altruist is. At least
Okay.
Along the read version, the summarized version.
Okay. Yeah. So this says here, the ability is a defensive ability that can only be used when Morena is present in the hideout. So okay. Well, one restriction already. Activates when Yokotani tells the invaders his name. Another restriction. The conjure defensive force is immune to damage from the criminals, but cannot deal damage either. So
restriction.
Yeah, a bunch of restrictions, but that's why it's a really good ability for this situation. Depending on the criminal's sentencing, higher level guards can be summoned. So that's also interesting.
Another condition, okay.
Yeah, under condition. So 4 conditions just to do, just to be a guard. And but you know how Nen works. The more the restrictions, the stronger the ability is. So that's why, from what we saw in this chapter, it's a really good ability for a guard. So yeah, he he does his job as a guard. He summons his Nen creation. The guards. He says their sentence is undeniably eviction. Because 2 targets charged with breaking, entering, and attempted murder. Caution level 4, and caution level 5 is the max because Noble attack 1. Caution level max, and then they went to 5, so 5 is the max. And it didn't work because we know how the ability works. So it did nothing. Both of they cannot attack either. So at this point it's like there's no worries for one is going to die, because since they kind of harm, and they both they cannot be harmed either. So yeah. Noble was the first one who got evicted, and also they confiscated his katana. Yeah, that's pretty. It's funny because it's like I guess they're like acting like cops in real life. Like, here we confiscate this, so you can evicted. They got him, all that. So it's pretty. I like it. I like it really. Not a huge fan of the design of the robots cops thing. I don't know. Not a huge fan of the design, but it's alright. It's alright. And then so they got Nobu, and he's like, get away. They shakes you on autopilot until you're evicted. The first eviction complete. So yeah, he left. This is just so funny. I don't know why. This panel right here is just really funny. Just Noble getting dragged away by these Nen creations. I don't know why. It's funny. So yeah, he got evicted, and now it's Giorno's turn. He's gonna get evicted now. Attempted murder due to willful negligence is a serious offense. You have to learn to. I'm afraid. So he's gonna get evicted too. And but he's thinking that he needs to leave the tracking device somewhere, so he does that off screen, but we see where he left it. So he does that, and Noble, he's like, so it takes you back to room 3101. If you enter from the front, you're transported to the hideout, and if you exit through a door in the hideout, you land back here. Works both as a trap and the seeker passes way. But certainly there's a jump point just for members. I wonder if it's in this room too. So smart thinking. Like he's like, there has to be an entrance for his members. So I wonder if they're going to find that, or that's just him just thinking about it. So they're like, one now. He's like, I lost all my knives. I used up too much of my Nen, so they're calling it for a day, I guess. But he left the tracker. And that's the chapter, right? Yeah, that's the chapter. So he's like, well done. I'll leave it to you. Sure, look like a bunch of rookies to me, but until we learn more about their boss power and that organ thing, we should stay on guard. Like, agreed. At the very least, the one moving the pieces isn't stupid. It's just a glimpse at the enemy. And the next issue, the troop hunts highly, and the princes take action. Something
to look forward to.
That's something. Yeah. Also, it's gonna be the last chapter of the year. So hey, maybe we're going to see him. We're gonna see the princess. And maybe Kurapika. I forgot his name. But yeah, Kurapika. So yeah. that's why I was taking a while to say Kurapika. I'm like what's his name? And so yeah, Kurapika. So yeah, I don't know. We really nice. But this chapter was really good. The action.
It's a good chapter,
Yeah, the action was good. The abilities are interesting. I love to see the dynamic of Nobu and Hyrule. Yeah, it was really cool, dynamic, and also there's the coloring. Yeah, yeah. This moment right here, it's just a really good moment and really good panel. So yeah, and like I always, I always ask you what you thought about the chapter. You already said, but just say it again. So what's your like overall thoughts?
Pretty good. The Annabelle this year are pretty great. The Big Dude and Saul Goodman's, yeah, they're both great.
It's all good, but yeah, yeah.
I mean, you see a lawyer, that's
Yeah,
the first thing I'm gonna think of.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That is the first thing. Yeah, it's all good, man. So, I think some people are saying in the comments that the lawyer reminds him of a character from Jujutsu. Yeah, I'm not gonna say because first of all, I haven't read beyond that point. But I know who they're talking about, and that lawyer in Jujutsu also has a cool ability, but I don't remember much. So yeah, but you know, so yeah, who will win the fight? I guess that lawyer from Jujutsu or this guy. Well, this guy so far, from what we've seen, he kind of fight with his ability. But I don't know. Maybe he could fight. Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. That
So
is
like
something.
at best he'll need like a gun. Like the guards will hold on to the like since you headshot right then and there point blank.
Oh
range.
yeah. That's a way to use his ability. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because Nobunaga he was saying duck.
yeah.
Like
He did.
if they really want to go for the kill, like they just go kill them right then and there.
Yeah. But remember, his ability is named after philosophy of what was it? Reduce right here, harm
Altruism.
reduction. Yeah, and altruism. So maybe I don't know. Maybe he will not do it, but someone else will. So that's interesting. Yeah, I do wonder. I do wonder. Do these letters mean anything? Like, do they mean something? Because normally I think how Nen ability is, this is the name of the ability and this is the attack. I think that's how Togashi formats his Nen abilities, or I'm not sure. So I do wonder what this means. I don't know.
Honestly, the only thing that comes to mind is the drug LSD. So
yeah. LSDF. So yeah, I do wonder. And Sweet Home Damage. Yeah. This is a cool name, Sweet Home Damage. So yeah. This chapter was very straightforward. And like I mentioned last week, I really love the straightforward chapters. But yeah. I do like that Togashi he's doing more straightforward stuff. Because so far. There's been a couple in these I forgot what was that one chapter. Oh yeah, the that one chapter with the new military people. Yeah, that they're like related, they're like friends with the fourth or something like that.
the fourth front.
Yeah, that chapter was very, very heavy with the text. But I think there was another one, but I'm forgetting. But overall he's been he's been good with the pacing and with the text and all that. So yeah, hopefully he continues like that. I'm pretty sure the editors, they talk to him like, man, we need to you need to calm down with all this text. So yeah, and yeah, I like
This is a manga, not a novel.
yeah. And like I mentioned throughout the video, the art, I think this is like the best chapter when it comes to art of these past few, of this batch of chapters. It's just like, like those moments with the guy where you just, I don't know, like he went off like with this dude. This is really cool.
Basically a nobody has so much great art.
Yeah. Like in the grand scheme of things, he is a nobody. But yeah, he got like the best art in the chapter. So yeah, really nice. And yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, like I have nothing else to say. So I guess that's the video. So I guess well I was going to ask prediction for next chapter, but the last they already said what's going to happen next chapter in the corner of the page. So
We're gonna see the princess.
yeah, that's my prediction. Next chapter we're going to see the princess. They're going to take action. So yeah.
And the troopers gonna hunt the Haley.
Oh, the end of the troops that go to hunt the Hailey. So yeah, I guess that's our predictions for next chapter. I hope they come true. Yeah. So and then but yeah, that's the video. Leave a like if you like the dislike if you don't. Subscribe. Are you gonna say something, Leo? Wait, before you say something, we're recording this on Saturday, and I'm assuming I think I know where you're going. Tomorrow is gonna be the big FIFA game for the final, so I think I know where you're going. So go on ahead.
The subscribe button, just like Argentina is gonna get hit with a victory.
Okay. Do that. Hit the subscribe button and see you.